Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Holy shit.
Dilly, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. We're going to dive right into it because I want to get into tonight's show. We're going to have some fun tonight on tonight's show. We got a fantasy football game that we're going to play where everyone is going to build their own fantasy football team, past, present, future type of deal. We have a lot of topics that we got to talk about with the NFL draft coming up. But first, hey, yo, I know y'all saw my Dodgers go yard. So, yes, I am rocking the Dodgers GLD shop, GLD.com. Link is in the description. Hey, yo, take them to the yacht.
Hop out in Miami when no land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
ShopGLD.com. Big ups to our sponsors over at GLD. Yo, you got to represent your favorite sports team just like me. GLD is how you do it. I'm probably, with the next sponsor I'm about to talk about, I'm probably going to be popping up with some GLD grills because, you know, just on the deal, I'm on packing them ass on. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to introduce you to Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys download the app. You see the hat, you see the t-shirt. I'm probably gonna start giving away t-shirts. Like I'm probably gonna start hooking y'all up. So make sure you guys are active on Underdog and be on the lookout for some of those contests. Make sure you guys check out the Underdog Discord as well. Go check out the Underdog Discord as well as the Rumboyz Discord. Check out the Underdog Discord. Let's go ahead. Let's get into tonight's show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an action-packed crew. Same old faces, but also, you know, an OG as well. Ladies and gentlemen, but first up, stepping up to the plate. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What is going on? What is going on? And because we have an old face, I had to pour some of the good stuff. So let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started swiftly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very familiar face, always longtime rum boy, my brother from another mother. Give it up for Coach John for the love of Sundays.
What is going on, boys? It has been too long. And I do this every time. I forget that this shirt blends in with my wall, so I look like a maniac. But this, I miss you guys. You don't
need your shirt to look like a maniac.
That's very, 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 very true.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, man. It is, I'll tell you, my favorite show, my favorite time of week. Rumboyz After Dark. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. You know, you got the whiskey going. I got some tequila tonight. I'm feeling very frisky, so it should be a fun show.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Last but certainly not least, give it up for TDS Taco.
What is
go?
Ready?
What do you got there, Taco?
Got a little starting goals for some fun.
Ooh, you got that handle, a big boy too.
A listen, I ran out of White Claw, so I was like, what do I got left? No.
This show is about to get unhinged.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get myself into a detox phase, so I haven't bought White Claw.
Robbie, you know the only people that go from White Claw. You know the only people that go from White Claws to rum. Yankee fans.
Oh, I went from rum to White Claw to rum.
Yeah, bro, that's a crazy step. That's a crazy step. White Claw, you ain't a white girl. Oh my gosh. Lisa's up in the chat. I know Mike's Chiefs signed Wells rugby player Luis Reese Zemet. He was the fastest winger in the game, unlike other rugby players who made the transition. Yes. Actually an elite player. If he actually played the Six Nations, the Welsh national team would finish last and lose to Italy. Okay, little rugby talk. NC State ops. Yes.
Rugby talk to start off Rumboyz After Dark. Today's gonna be a good show. I can already feel it.
I'm not gonna get too into it, but UNC feels. Can we just say Spain without the S? Like,
let's just. I don't even want to talk about it. It's going to cause me to drink more.
There's a player I can't wait to talk about tonight. I'm just going to say that.
We're going to have a lot to talk about. Yo, in regards to that, all right, I will rant about this real quick because I know that we all here feel the same.
Your girl likes them.
Exactly. I'm going to tell toxic masculinity. Look, toxic masculinity internet. All right, all social media. Look me in my damn eyes. All right, my beautiful brown caramel eyes. Listen to what I am telling you. Okay,
it's a City High song.
We don't. What the hell? No one cares. No one cares.
She's hungry. Sorry.
Hold on, really quick. The same people that I see listen to Lil Yachty's music. Drake has painted his nails. You bump Drake. Like, stop it. Stop it.
Catchers paint their nails.
Stop it. I'm talking. You're getting me to there. I'm on a soapbox right now. Okay. I'm going to address this one time and one time only during the show. Can you play football? Can you get me the damn ball? Okay, that's all I care about. All right. Also, it is a completely different generation. And honestly, coming from a kid that's born in the 90s, that lived through Dennis Rodman, it actually really ain't that different. Some of y'all same ones that's on the internet talking that talk was rocking a Rodman jersey back in the day.
The 90s. Jeez.
Y'all was the same ones cheering for Oscar De La Hoya when he was in the ring knocking motherfuckers out. We don't care. Why? I love Shay Shay's take. I love Uncle Shay Shay's take where he was like, since when did men start caring so much about what other men are doing? I feel like it says more about you than what it does about the person that you're trying to go after and attack and put out these accusations and things on the internet. Shut up. The kid can ball. It's 2024. Things are different. Life is different. Shut up and deal with it. And that's my rant.
That's a good rant.
That's how I'm approaching that. But y'all ready to get into the first topic of the night? Because that was not even on the show sheet. I purposely did not write that on the show sheet, but I knew that someone was going to bring it up. And I'm not the internet personality to dodge. Ooh. So it's brought up. I'm going to address it. And I addressed it.
Well, if you could dodge the ball.
I'm not ready to do the first topic yet because we haven't done our cheers.
Oh yeah,
we are going to do our cheers. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the rum boys and girls, what it do? Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
The phone that was there on all settled.
John Eagle Rare
had such a long.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. One of my favorites. Mm-hmm. It's just, it sucks how hard it is to find these days. I remember when it was just on the
out here. It's not as hard as other places.
Really, Florida is so tough. Florida has BS bourbon selections.
Today I am simply having beer because tomorrow your boy got access to the new club in town, 4 levels, VIP bottle service. These fucking piles are like $400 goddamn dollars, like starting at like $400. I'm about to have a Kevin Hart night tomorrow. Like
I've been checking and seeing. Yo, it might take a few days to get it from my checkings to my savings.
You know, like yeah. You already know. Hey, it's gonna be Rumboyz LA 2.0. Y'all thought when I was how Ty and I wild out at the club at the rookie premiere. I ain't saying Colorado Springs is LA, but we got a vibe. No Diddy. No, please no.
So you're telling me the Diddler's not going to make an appearance?
P. Diddler.
With the NFL draft just a few weeks away, there's a lot of chatter. First off, all of you are assholes for blowing up my phone with this, as if I'm not going to see the tweet before y'all anyways, but we're going to continue.
Oh, that one. Now I know which one you're talking
AJ
about.
McCarthy could be jumping up draft boards. Is this all just smokescreen, analysts, coach speak, or are we starting to buy into the McCarthy being just that good that he could jump up to the Commanders or the Patriots? Look, I'm not going to give my take yet. I don't think that the number 2 thing happens, but Mike, you go.
I don't either. I absolutely don't think it happens. I still stand to where I stood last Friday. He's going to get drafted by somebody right in front of the freaking pesky little piss ants called the Little Giants. Somebody is going to move up right in front of those little pesky ants and take them because they know if they don't take them, Taco's team will do what they shouldn't do and draft another quarterback. And Taco doesn't, and Taco agrees the fact Taco doesn't want him to draft a QB. Taco agrees with me on that front. At least I know that. I do think someone's going to move up. I wouldn't be surprised if a certain coach that has a certain affection for J.J. McCarthy is going to play a factor in where J.J. McCarthy plays and is going to help out J.J. McCarthy.
Minnesota.
Well, it could be Minnesota, but I think Harbaugh is going to have a play in this because they're going to be the 5, and that's who's going to be traded. No.
We'll talk about the Harbaugh thing later.
No, he's not going there. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying Harbaugh
trading the pick
is going to be the one to trade. So Harbaugh is going to be the one to help McCarthy go where Jim thinks he should go to be a quarterback in the NFL because Harbaugh wants to see him succeed.
I think there's a trade that happens early.
Everyone wants to see their players succeed.
Yes, but he loves McCarthy like he's a much. Yes, he does.
So McCarthy would screw over the Chargers.
How's that?
And trade up. So that
he's going to trade no matter what. I think he's going to trade out no matter what. But Harbaugh is going to look at McCarthy's future and trade him to. He's going to, instead of just looking at the package, he's also going to look at his boy.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's all I'm saying. He's going to look at both. He's not just going to look at only the package.
John Harbaugh hyping up JJ's generational glazing run. I agree with that. I feel like
absolutely. The last thing I'm going to say before I throw it to my boy below me.
Oh,
what's that?
There is no way he is drafted number 2.
No, did he?
No.
There is no way he gets drafted as the Commanders.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you said that, Mike. You put me at ease, so I don't have
no way. I know I sent you the tweet, but
you and the whole world.
You knew I would.
Bro, here's the thing. All right. So from my perspective, as soon as that tweet got dropped, first off, we all see the same tweets. Y'all know that I'm going to get the information either at the same time or probably before y'all.
Yes, but Robbie, I did it to know your reaction, not to give you the news.
Everyone did it. Everyone did it, bro. Everyone's doing it to get my reaction. Oh, what do you think? It's, trying to nudge a little bit. I'm like, fuck. Bro, I got 20 texts from 20 different fucking people.
Well, I hope I was one of the ones you wanted to see.
you have civil conversations. You know, we always have a very professional relationship. It's people like this fucker
Yes,
down
I
here.
know.
Well, I mean, I just want to
That
say,
one.
like, I've been banging this drum now for like 3 weeks, calling this rise. So it just kind of feels good that the guy that knows no prospects has been calling the meteoric rise of JJ McCarthy.
Let
know.
John drop some
Let
bars.
John go because I don't want to hear you.
And
anymore.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
upset Marquette.
So it's really, I mean, if the question is, do I believe the JJ McCarthy hype? It's yes, I do. I mean, like, I do believe it. There's plenty of people around the NFL are talking about it. You know, I get that he might not be the flashiest player, but that's also the system he was in. And you have to look at what he had to do and what he needed to do to win games. And he was great at it. He was 27-1 as a starter at Michigan. Yeah, he can win. He knows what to do. He's a good quarterback. There were times when Michigan did have to rely on him late in the game against Alabama on New Year's Day. They had to rely on JJ McCarthy, made a couple big plays. He can do it. It's just when you have Blake Corum and an unbelievable defense, you don't have to air it out 35, 40 times a game. But it doesn't mean he can't. He clearly can. He's very talented. Pro Day went really well. He tested great, you know, in terms of sort of physical metrics. He's a good quarterback. I believe that. I truly, truly do. Do I think people like Drake May and Daniel, some of these guys might have a theoretical higher ceiling? Sure, yeah, maybe. They might theoretically have a higher ceiling in terms of production, you know, offensive production in your system. But you want to find a quarterback that's going to come in day one, work hard, compete, and probably win. I think outside of Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy's the next guy. Everyone else
doesn't lose. Like, you know, like
everyone else is like, oh, if this happens, it'll work. If that happens, it'll work. What are the question marks around JJ McCarthy? Does he have a deep ball? Of course he does. He has an NFL arm. He can throw a ball deep enough. It's good. It's like, I don't know what people need to see. Yeah, he's not going to be Joe Milton and throw the thing 97,000 yards, but he could make a 65, 70-yard toss if he has to. He's not an idiot. So I'm fully in. Now, where do I think he goes? That's a great question. Listen, I got the Pats sitting at 3, and I was wanting Marvin Harrison Jr. for the longest time, but that was in my mind, the hope was you go either get Justin Fields or Russell Wilson or go get someone else and then draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Now that you didn't do that and you just have Jacoby Brissett, you're basically saying we're taking a quarterback. So I hope the Patriots take him at 3. If not, I think there's probably a real chance that at that point Arizona would trade out of 4 and then you'd go 4 and you'd have 4 quarterbacks off the board. And if you're the Chargers in that situation and you're Jim Harbaugh, you're happy as a clam. You get JJ goes top 5, you're happy, and now you get Marvin Harrison Jr., who just slid into your lap in the 5 hole. So a lot could happen, and I think JJ is a big wild card for a lot of franchises. It's how the top 5 shake out will be very interesting and will make a big difference. You know, if Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to Arizona, big swing fantasy-wise for Kyler, big swing, you know, for that team, that franchise. If he goes to the Chargers, I hope everyone bought low on Justin Herbert. Like, I hope you bought low on that guy for the past 2 weeks because it's been crazy. So it will be interesting, but I do believe he's a top 10 pick at least. If not, someone will jump up and have to get him above the Giants, because if he does make it all the way to 6 at the Giants will really have to. I mean, how do you not, right? Like, how do you not consider it? So it will be interesting.
What I find, before we get into your take, Taco, what I find so interesting,
Hey.
no, hi.
Let's go.
Excuse me. I'm super sorry for that. BKB, thank you. Seahawks for life. Fuck all your teams. Much love to the Rumboyz. Shout out to Robbie and Mike. Yo, big ups, bro.
That's
big
a fan.
ups, big
Yo,
ups.
fuck all your teams. That's a fan. That's a good fan.
Exactly, yo. That is his signature. We know as soon as we see that it is BKB up in the chat. Long time Rumboy up in the chat, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Don't know. Before we get into Taco's sake, what I was going to say, one of the things I find so interesting is how it was. We were all beating the drum, literally a couple of weeks ago, pre-pro days, post combine. Hey, it's Caleb Williams number one, irregardless. It's either Drake May or Daniels. And then now we're having a conversation about, is JJ realistically, is he going to overtake Daniels? Is he going to overtake May? I've heard cases for both situations. I think that it's going to be interesting to see how that sorts itself out, because I think that if what we're all thinking that it could be potentially 3 quarterbacks all at the top 3, and that's what we've all been ramping and raving. Okay, it goes Caleb. Let's say it goes Caleb, Daniels, and then JJ. What now becomes a narrative for Daniels? Or let's say it goes Caleb, May, JJ. Like what now? Or I'm sorry, Caleb
Daniels, Daniels, McCarthy, and then Drake falls.
Yeah.
Drake May falls,
and then Drake May falls. And like, does that continue to be a faller? And I think that that's a perspective whenever we're looking at mock drafts and even doing mock drafts. Do we see a situation where that player now, maybe doesn't get, like you said, you felt that JJ could be, definitely selected in the top 10. Okay, well, does someone maybe fall as low as 10, 11 even, or are we in a position to where it's like someone irregardless has to trade up, Denver to make a move, Minnesota to make a move? So are we pretty much at this given point dead set locked from a strategic standpoint? That they
dead set
going to move up.
I think
dead set locked. No,
I think the Giants will take a quarterback if it's not Daniels. So if May falls, Giants are taking him. If it's McCarthy, Giants are taking him. So I don't think I think the Vikings would trade up for McCarthy or May. So yes, I think all 4 are gone before the Giants, no matter what.
Okay, Taco, your thoughts?
I think one of the most interesting questions that we really have, it's what happens at 3 with the Patriots, because there was some smoke signals that Daniels really doesn't want to go there. If let's just say May hypothetically goes to me, that looks like an interesting spot where they can move back, collect some assets, keep it running, and kind of give that shot to a team to move up. I know that traditionally we're looking at Arizona and the Chargers. I mean, as teams that, because again, we've been talking about this for weeks now. I agree with everything Mike said. If McCarthy gets to the Giants, he's a Giant. He's not getting past 6. This draft from McCarthy is not going past that. Now, because especially meaning more than likely the top 2 wide receivers are gone off the board as well, Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr.
How did you even find that out, Lease? Like, what research did you do to even
know? I think that really the most interesting team to me right now is the Patriots, because I think he could be a Patriot. He could be traded from the Patriots so that they trade down and get some more assets. Particularly, I feel like if Daniels is the guy that's on the board versus Drake May. Because I think with Drake May, I think Patriots probably move that way. It's a comfortable situation. I'm just not 100% sure how I feel about this. And I also think that with everything, with all the hype that's coming out, and like a lot of people were saying with, JJ, they were blowing teams out by so much in the first half of most of these games that his numbers aren't really even that accurate, because he didn't have second halves to play in where you can say it's a competitive game for him actually to put up numbers. So it's really hard to judge solely on the stats when you have to more look at what can he do. Can he make the reads? Can he drop back? Does he have the ability to throw the ball deep? Does he have good accuracy? Can he get the ball into tight windows? Is more of what you need to look at than maybe what his stats were. And I think this is where, again, you go into that possible Zach Wilson train where it's like, wow, everything looks great. But once you get on the field, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. But I think the difference that we have between Zach Wilson and JJ McCarthy is
that evil on JJ. Hold on now. Don't put that evil on JJ.
We got he's a champion. You know, he went out, he did his thing. He balled out and
I'm saying the Zach Wilson evil.
Yeah. You know what I'm just now realizing about JJ McCarthy and who I sort of am thinking JJ McCarthy is. He is a polished, more sort of pro-ready Baker Mayfield. He's just I think he has this sort of quality about him that like is gonna compete. People want to play football for him. Like
I tell you that.
Say what you want about Baker. He went to the Browns, the worst situation in NFL history, and made them a winning team. Then gets railroaded for some stupid reason, and Deshaun Watson comes in. So then he goes and revives his career in Tampa and just gets a new contract. I think that, Baker is – I think JJ is probably – if you put him in the right situation, the same way if you had put Baker in the right situation from Jump Street, could be very successful. And I think JJ is the same way. He's just got this sort of football thing about him. He's just a good football player, and he knows the game, and he understands things. Say what you want about Baker. He's the same guy. He's a bit of a cocky bastard, a little bit of a prick. That's why I think JJ is a little more polished, a little more professional, but same football dude, right? Like just a dude who loves football. It's the same thing.
You get coached by Harbaugh. There's definitely going to be media training involved in that at some point.
Very true. Fair. Yeah, very fair.
Robbie, after you're done with your take, can I ask John a Patriots question?
Oh yeah,
for sure. I think I had read somewhere. Okay, and I think this is why I'm so infatuated with the strategic idea of a team moving up, more namely Minnesota, that JJ's high school QB at IMG is the quarterback's coach in Minnesota now.
Mm-hmm.
We know that I love a good narrative. The Devi streets have always hyped up JJ. JJ has had very good press ever since going back to then. Very good film going all the way back to then. When you're that consistent as a player from that level onward, from when you're competing at an academy, at a football academy like IMG, not to discredit anything else that they do, but football academy for the most part, we know them as that. When you come from a prestigious school like that, and then you go and you play and you win at Michigan, and you consistently always have more wins than losses, your throws are always on point. So to the point where it's like, oh, like do we move up? Maybe Roman Wilson even. After I've sat back in depth and really watched Roman Wilson's film, that also leads you to also watch the quarterback. And I'm just like, damn, maybe JJ in Minnesota is exactly what JJ needs. You can't look, JJ, you can't stay in Michigan. Like that's impossible because golf is working out there. So the closest thing to you, I think that JJ staying in the Great Lakes. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful narrative. And I'm willing to honestly, at this point, while pre-actual NFL draft, dynasty fantasy leagues are drafting, I'm willing to take a stab at JJ McCarthy. I'm willing to swing for the fucking fences there. Why pay if I'm going to get the guy with the better landing spot, then Caleb Williams, who also throws across his body like a madman.
I'll say this, though. I think he ends up with the Giants. Because Because you're talking about two generational receivers that you have right there for two teams that need receiver. So you're going to tell me you got Justin Herbert sitting there that just lost Mike Williams, just lost Keenan Allen, just lost Austin Eckler.
Chargers are taking a wide receiver. Yeah,
Okay,
Chargers
and then
are taking a wide receiver.
you sit there with the Cardinals and you say, if they sit there, Marvin Harrison Jr. is supposed to be a generational wide receiver. You put him with Kyler Murray or whatever quarterback you get next year. It's kind of like you're gonna have to put up an offer.
Receiver. Y'all need a receiver so damn desperate. It's not.
Listen, I would love the receiver.
Like someone stranded in the fucking desert needing water.
But I'll tell you this: between Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr., it's only one of those two. I don't think we go to the third wide receiver. I can't pronounce his name, even though
Roma Dunze.
They say he's very, very good. They say he runs all the routes. He could do everything.
What up,
but I just don't see. Aiden? I just feel like the other guys have kind of set themselves up as a step above. But again, Dunze is getting a lot of buzz. He is moving up, but I just don't see him moving further and faster than JJ McCarthy right now, who is put himself into, I feel like, top 5 consideration.
The best situation for the Giants.
Yeah, considering how much money you've already given Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is not, I don't think Daniel Jones really plays, and he's not coming back next year. They cut him after this year. They don't have as much owed out with the way they wrote out the contract. Daniel Jones is gone in my opinion.
You wait on next year's quarterback class. You at least need to give Daniel Jones the weapons to at least be put in a position.
That's what I want
to succeed, because financially you've given him too much money to not give him the best opportunity to at least do something, at least even one more year. I want to keep it moving along here. We're going to get into the next topic. My show sheet. There we go. The NFL has proposed a new rule, a couple of new rule changes. Actually, there's a pair of rule changes that we're really going to tackle.
You're gonna make me drink.
No pun intended. There's two rule changes that we're really going to tackle. That being
tackle. Probably with the joke.
Like I said,
I'll throw a flag on that play.
Dad joke. Dad joke. We're going to briefly get into the kickoff. We're really honestly going to be focusing the conversation on the hip drop tackle. So Taco, first, what are your thoughts on the new kickoff? We'll wait on hip drop tackle takes because I don't think it will take too long on the new kickoff.
Kickoff, honestly, I like it. You know why I like it? Because too many of these kickers now can kick it through the uprights from the fucking kickoff. Literally, the Kansas City kicker Bucker kicks it through the fucking uprights from the goddamn kickoff. Like, this is gonna force you to have some sort of return, some sort of play. This guarantees more action on it. Because let's face it, most times it's a better situation just to take a knee in the end zone. 90%, 80% of the time. That is the proper play. But guess what? With this kind of a situation, you have to field the ball and you have to go down. Because guess what? In baseball, like they said, a strikeout is one thing. But you know what? If you're going to hit it out, at least make him field the ball and make the play. Because guess what? He might fuck up. And guess what? Now you're on base. It's the same kind of thing in this kickoff situation. So I actually like it because you're going to get a little bit more action than you did before. You might see some more consistency on the kickoff versus just like, oh, yeah, it went through the uprights, start from the 25-yard line and keep going. Because it was almost like a formality. You don't see kickoff returns for touchdowns anymore. It doesn't exist.
It's great, honestly, like you said, for more scoring. The league said they wanted to go into a more scoring-oriented type of game. And field position is an important part of being able to set up the ability for that to be a possibility. So I can agree with that. It does take away some of the defensive strategy from the special team side of things, of preventing that and stopping that, and then also the defense being able to, there's something to speak to about a defense being able to pin the opposing offense back at their 25 for a full set of downs. There's definitely something to speak to that. But I think there is also something to speak to with the new kickoff. to the athleticism of, like Aiden is saying here in the chat. He's like, I hate the new kickoff, but having a good returner is going to be massive now. Jags with Devin Duvernay looks great. You're going to see guys like Davis, who was a Charger.
Cordero Patterson. I mean,
it's Devin Hester's probably sitting back somewhere pissed off right now that this is happening. But hey, your take on the new kickoff. John.
My only take on the kickoff rules is just let's pick one and stick with it. What do we every 2-3 years? I feel like we're changing the kickoff rule. People remember a few years ago they moved the kick back, then they moved the kick forward, then they did this, then they do that. Pick something, stick with it. Stop changing it. This is getting crazy. So
the new rule of player safety, though.
It's not a safe sport. It's not gonna be a safe sport, and it's the idea of a kickoff is probably one of the more violent plays in the sport. It's gonna be very difficult. I get that you have to, but if you constantly every year, every 2 years, you just make these rules on the laurels of player safety, it's like you need to let teams and franchises understand the rules and develop a game around it. You can't just keep changing the rules. It's like, guys have special team players for a reason. They sign contracts for a reason. It's like, now you're changing the rules. It's like, okay, I guess I got to reassess how I do kickoffs now. And it's just, it's frustrating, and it must be frustrating for NFL coaches and GMs. So it's like, I get it. The rule is the rule. I like this rule. I think for player safety, this is a good rule because you're not going to have people running 100 miles per hour downfield into your mouth. You're going to be, it's a little bit closer. So the impact. Someone
that
no Diddy. No Diddy.
Coming up inside the screen right about now.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, the impact on the hits won't be as bad. So I think that's good for player safety. But my point is just leave it. Let's leave it for 10 years and figure it out.
Don't know, baby.
Good thing I brought the handler today. What y'all trying to do?
Yeah. So that's the kickoffs. It is what it is. They'll change it again in 3 years. Who knows?
No, after 1 year, they're gonna have to evaluate and make a decision if they keep it or not.
Of course, change it again.
Next
Sure.
year.
Well, keep changing. Who cares? Keep changing it. It's only one of the biggest plays of the game. Just keep changing it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Keep changing it. It's so stupid. The NFL is so dumb with rules.
Your thoughts. You guys that are on panel, feel free. You can answer BKB's question in the chat via our YouTube channel. And yeah, he said he's like send him some plays. So
send him some parlays. Okay.
I don't use the word. I can't use the word parlay. I don't know what that is.
I don't gamble.
Contract.
I don't know anything about it. Remember,
Well,
I hear it's fun.
he is tonight though. Like he is tonight. I have to figure out like my exact what I can and cannot do. I can't use that word while wearing this hat. So fuck. And I'm not. My hair's not cut, so I'm not revealing my hair right now. Fuck it. But yeah, ayo, Brad saying blah.
So then I started blasting. So anyway, I started blasting.
All right. Let's
peaches and eggplants.
Let's change the tone of the show for a second.
Okay, Mike.
The peaches and eggplants.
I fucking despise this damn new rule. I hate it.
Of course.
Let me explain myself before you jump on me. Because Robbie kind of hinted at it, but didn't give the full gist of it. One, I hate the fact that they're only 5 yards away. I understand that it's player safety, but I think they should be 10 yards away from each other, not 5 yards. I hate the fact that you can no longer do a squib kick. True. You can't even do a squib kick anymore because if it lands before the 20-yard line, it automatically goes to the 40.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do a surprise. You can't do a surprise onside kick anymore.
Nope.
You have to declare it.
Yeah,
I like that.
I hate it. You should be able to
see that. I agree with Mike. That's stupid. That takes gamesmanship out of special teams.
Gamesmanship out of it towards the. It's.
I agree.
One of the
Someone
best
can get hurt.
one of the best plays of a Super Bowl in the last 20 years was when the Saints did an onside kick at the end of the first half.
It's so
You
sick.
can't do that anymore. I know he's out of the league, but coaches like Riverboat Ron or other gambling coaches could pull that off right now, but no longer cannot do it. Okay? I understand your point about Butker, but my whole thing is I don't think you're going to get as – okay, here's an example. I honestly don't think that Devin Hester would be a Hall of Fame kick returner with this rule. I think it's going to crack down on – you're still going to have some big plays, but the big plays aren't going to be there as often. So you're not going to have – I don't think you're going to have as many explosive plays as people think.
This is a quarterback's world.
I don't like – I hate it. I don't like the thing I really don't like is the fact that if it's short of the landing zone, it goes to the freaking 40 freaking yard line. If it lands in the end zone, you can no longer – if it lands in the end zone, it is a dead ball now. You're not even allowed to return it if it goes 1 yard into the end zone.
Dude, if your rule has things like landing zones, you probably screwed up. You probably screwed up.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, what if they just changed the rule where if you kicked it in the end zone, you actually got penalized, like where it went to the 40 instead?
It goes to the 35.
You gotta kick it within the field of play, otherwise you get penalized.
No, it goes to the 35.
Look, here's the thing.
Well, no, I'm saying like instead of this rule change, something like that.
One, it's going to be difficult for players to adjust. Kickers are a very strategic position. There are very little small nuances that go into it. Everything from the snap to the hold, etc. The amount of rotations that it takes to get to this to the hold. It's there's very it's a very nuanced position. So I think that it is going to be difficult. I think we're going to see some sloppy special teams at first. Wow, Taco.
So how long does it take John and Robbie and Taco? The one of the rules is if it lands in the landing zone and then rolls into the end zone, it goes out to the 20.
Stop saying landing zone like that.
No, because that's what they're calling it.
That's the rule. It's just like Miguel wants us to use the word landing zone.
So
I bet Diddy used that too.
What is the first?
Whoa!
How long is it going to be until
Was
a
that
returner?
Before or after he had to flee before getting raided?
How long
until a returner?
How long is it going to be till a returner lets it land in the landing zone, thinks it's going to go into the end zone, but land at the 1 or 2 yard line and be and then have to jump on it and be screwed. That's
my God. Did you just hear what you said?
Bro, can you chill?
You're the one that has his mind in the gutter.
All right, I'll stop.
Yeah,
but that was very
Yorkers,
bad.
Man,
just the whole.
Tell you what, New Yorkers.
No, Robbie, it's all because the person in question is East Coast rap, and he knows that West Coast rap is better. That's all.
No.
Whoa. We're not stopping this right now. We're not stopping this right now.
As much as I love Pac, Biggie would eat his lunch.
This is not whoa. Hey,
no.
You see the Pac post back here, bro? Like, what are you doing?
No, we're gonna do some.
You better stop. Knock it off.
We're doing some hip hop.
Be good.
Hip hop takes.
It's all John's fault.
Oh my God.
I mean, Jada said he's
I'm an innocent guy. I'm an innocent bystander here.
Stop it. We're not doing this.
This came out because you're on the show.
We're not doing this. Talk about eating lunch. Kendrick will eat Drake's lunch. Just saying.
Well,
LeBron's hairline is a landing zone. My God.
not leaves. Not leaves. You're insane. That's not fair. That's not fair. Leave LeBron alone. He's like 48. Leave him alone. Leave LeBron alone. The poor guy's like 77. Let him retire in peace. Don't make fun of his hairline. He's like 88. Come on.
I won't make fun of it.
No, getting into the hip drop tackle. I feel like that this is more so going to be treated as a point of emphasis and less of it being called like every single time how everyone's like imagining in their head. I think that it's more so going to be called in the event of, hey, you did it and you injured someone. Yeah, no, fuck that. Like, I think that it's going to be treated in that manner versus how Meek Mills approves. Well, brother Brian up in the chat, what's good, bro? But
Chat's
I
violent
think
right
that
now.
I think that this rule more so gets treated as one of emphasis, and it's more so used as a like, hey, you did it, you rolled up on someone. Here's the thing: anyone that's ever put on a pair of pads and has been coached by a good coach, you're not taught to do this anyways. Like, you're not taught to. You're not supposed to be hip drop tackling. It is center mass, approach the target, head up, shoulder in here, into the chest. You're grabbing the back, wrap up, take out, lift, and take out the trash, and you drive.
But what about from behind? How are you taught to tackle from behind? Because that's where most of the hip drops happen. That's the problem I have.
Yeah.
It is still you are still supposed to pursue the same way. The problem with it's a technique issue, honestly, is what it
I
is.
understand that, but my issue is how are you supposed if let's say Mark Andrews is momentum is going forward and say
if you were here, if you were here and we were on a field, I'd show you how to
but you know what I mean. That's where all these are happening. I don't think they're most of the hip drop, like the Tony Pollard and the freaking Mark Andrews, both the two emphasis ones happen from behind and not from.
It's the dragging. It's the dragging into the ground that is more so the issue.
Yes, but I can drag you to the ground without dropping my hips and still have the same issue.
So here's where I think the rule is important, and the word is important in this rule. So it's called but the rule is grabs the runner both hands, wraps up arms, but both arms, so the runner can't put his arms out to stop himself, right? The runner, both arms are up against the side, and then the player swivels. So if you do this and then you turn and sort of twist, that's when you get these guys who blow their ACLs out. They blow their Achilles. If you're going to twist and sort of like dead roll this guy to the ground, that's where it's a problem. Like that's when you're wrapping him up. He can't defend himself and you're twisting. You're going to blow knees up left, right, center. I mean, there's more ACL and MCL injuries, I feel like, in the past 4 or 5 years than ever before. And it's because bad tackling. And to Robbie's point, it is a fundamental thing. Like you have to take a good angle of approach on a tackle. Yes, there's going to be times when you're caught from behind and you got to kind of chase after a guy, but then you just drag him to the ground. You don't drag him to the ground and twist and try and rip his hip off or turn his knee sideways. No, you just drag him to the ground. Just grab him like a cape and just he'll go down.
No diddy.
I love that Leafs threw this up on the Twitch channel. Make sure you guys check us out on Twitch. Don't wait for the next comment. Y'all about to see me do some wild shit. I actually think NFL players don't know how to tackle. They're lazy, throw their bodies around with pads. In rugby, they actually take down big guys, fast props with same foot, same shoulder wrap, and forward drive. Actually, there's a reason why the rugby league banned the hip drop tackle. So, yeah, and really quick, hey, off the top rope for the homie Chaos Gaming. If you smell what the Rumboyz are cooking.
He's out of his mind.
We're feeling good tonight, huh?
That was mine. Yeah, I just think it's ultimately to put a bow on my point, I think it's just lazy tackling, and to your point, Robbie, they're gonna call it as a point of emphasis for the first 3-4 weeks, and then you probably won't hear from it again.
Slap, I have to disagree with this take here, but it's not because of the rules. Like, that to me, that as someone that's played football, extensive amounts of years of football, my body's not the goddamn same. Okay, all right, bro. It's a coaching thing. It is a technique thing. You're taught how to hit properly since Pop Warner. You know, it's players being lazy. The accountability is the rule wouldn't have to be made in the first place if the percentage of injuries that are happening on these types of plays wouldn't be so high, and the injuries wouldn't be so high if the players were doing what they're coached to do. So is it bad coaching, or is it you just being lazy when you get on the field? And that's what it comes down to.
It's also players being more explosive and better than ever, and smaller windows and reduced abilities for defenders to, you can't hit high, you can't hit low, you have to hit that middle spot. And with the better athletes that you have right now, it is a bit difficult. So I mean, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but for some of these guys, when you're facing some of the most elite athletes in the world, you're gonna do what you can do, and I think that's why they're making that penalty on it, so that when these guys do that, instead of hurting someone and or whatever may come, because that's a legal move, now you get penalized for it, and you force them to not even do that. And by the end of the day, they're gonna institute a system where players will have little things dangling from their belts, and they'll just grab that thing, and that's where they're stopping. It'll be called flag football in the NFL. Yeah, that's where we're heading, baby.
See that I don't believe, because at the end of the day, the NFL is a bottom line business.
Yeah.
If this is if
can't hurt the product,
if they notice that either and then this is where we tie both of these rule changes into each other. The second that Goodell notices his viewership, which controls his pockets, starts taking a hit. Oh no, I promise you. Yeah. You know what? Research,
he just found Taylor Swift. The ratings are going higher than ever.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
You know how many people the second today that if they should ever, I don't wish this on them.
Oh, if they flipped all the way to flags, you're saying? Yeah.
No, you're not. The second that they fucking break up, the NFL ratings are going back to where the fuck they were. It's taking. Okay.
Well, if they have kids, it's over.
No, oh yeah. If they have kids and then break up, or like divorce, bro. Yeah. No. That whole fan base that started to watch, they leaving. They are faithful to her and her only. It's like the Beehive. The Swifties are like the Beehive, bro. Like it's there's two. There are two.
The Beehive is about to be tested, though.
No.
Stand by your man, B. See what happens.
No. I'm Beyonce fans. I want no issue. Swiftie fans, I want no fucking problems. I do not want those are hands I do not want.
If you want to yell at anyone, yell at the guy down below. That's his Twitter handle right there. TDS Taco.
Yeah.
Mr. Taco to you.
We're gonna get into one more topic before we get into halftime. The Philadelphia Eagles were a tumultuous letdown for the city of Philadelphia and for Eagles fans last year. They were on such a wild ride, just a huge high, and then just serotonin dropped. Like, some fans have been on record saying that maybe Bill Belichick should have been given a call to replace Sirianni. If the Eagles undersell again, is Sirianni on the hot seat post this season? Also, Bill, shout out to you for getting ready to release a book. I'm excited to read that.
Is he really?
Yeah, well, he's announced. Yeah, he announced that he's writing a book.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We don't know.
Sure Phil Jackson of football.
Yeah, I figured he would write a book. It'd be too crazy not to.
Exactly.
I'm excited.
Mike, give us your take first.
I have it on me.
I mean, on the hip drop part, I kind of talked about it.
We're on the Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles. Oh,
Sirianni hot seat next season.
yeah, I think he is on the hot seat, and part of it's because he doesn't have what's his name anymore. He doesn't have Big Dom.
Big
Oh, did he?
Big Dom.
Dom.
All because Big Dom is gone. That's really okay.
Is that Meek Mills?
There was actual rumors that he was part of the reason that Sirianni got along with players on the sideline. I'm just saying. I do think he's on the hot seat. You lost Travis. You lost Jason. You lost Fletcher Cox. You lost two big cogs in the locker room that kept things, gelled up.
Eagles trade Hassan Reddick for a foot-long combo.
Yeah, you still have Jalen. You still have all those guys. But I don't.
2026 fucking compensate. Like, bro. At least go for the Chinese food. Don't just settle for fucking Subway. Like,
Oh God, no one never settles for Subway.
Like, go to a different place, bro. No one settles for Subway, dog. There's so many better Jersey Mike's over Subway. Don't Taco. Don't ever give food takes again.
Well, you said Subway.
That's interesting that you say Taco don't give food takes. That just made me laugh for some stupid reason. It's like you just
When you brought up Subway, I'm like, what the fuck?
Johnny, go.
All right. So yeah, I mean, of course, he's got to be on the hot seat. I mean, you can't have a disastrous season like you just had and then follow up with another. If they miss the playoffs again, yeah, I mean, the conversation's gonna start where it's like, okay, what are we doing? We just wasted 3 prime years of Jalen Hurts. Now it's great, awesome. I'll tell you who doesn't like that. Owners. They don't like that. They don't like when you waste valuable years of their star quarterback. And he's going to take it out on Nick Sirianni for sure. It just makes too much sense. So, yeah, if they go out there, they have another 500 season, miss the playoffs, whatever, right? They absolutely Sirianni's on the hot seat.
Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yo, chat is fucking hilarious.
No, chat's on another level tonight. Chat's on another level.
Oh, you know Brady. You know Brady is catching heat in that book. You know Brady's catching heat.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get to the Jupiter.
I'm coming back.
Phil Jackson aired out Kobe.
Both y'all getting clapped up.
That book comes out. I'm like, where's the Robert Kraft Florida shit? I need to know exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Listen, Bill saw a lot. You're in one franchise for 24 years. You're gonna know a lot. So that book will be very, very interesting. I mean, think of all the players that have been in and out of that building. Think of all the contract negotiations he's been a part of. Think of everything, everything, winning. Even then go back to the Cleveland days. I mean, he could write an insane book. He grew up around Navy football. I mean, it's just nuts. He is a wealth of football knowledge. And for him to write a book, we should all be blessed.
I mean, hell, the chapters just between the Jets fuck up could be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always forget he was like coach of the Jets for a minute, a day, maybe.
He said, I don't like the water here. I'm out of here.
Blue Jays, what's good? Taco, your opinion on how things shake out for Sirianni. This is honestly, I know that we've like kind of been like joking and shit. Like we've been on air for an hour already. But what are your thoughts on could Sirianni potentially being on the hot seat? I mean, Eagles fans are a very demanding fan base.
So I heard that when the offensive coordinator left last year and Sirianni began taking over the play calling, that's where the beef really started, because the offense that he was calling wasn't the same as the former offensive coordinator, which wasn't really catering to the way Jalen Hurts plays, which makes Jalen Hurts seem like he's more of a system quarterback than being able to just kind of like flat out play, per the words that I'm hearing on the radio. And I forgot who exactly was being interviewed, but I found it very interesting. And they said that was the biggest problem with everything, was the frustration in the way Nick Sirianni was calling the plays. in relation to Jalen Hurts and his playing style. You know, at the end of the day, if the coach can't make the star player happy or put the star player in a position to win or make the star player and the star players feel like they're in a situation that they can be comfortable. I mean, let's face it, we saw a lot of the blow-ups. We saw the chemistry drop off. This Eagles team went from one of the best teams in the league to all of a sudden now things are going south, things are going wrong. And things can happen when, you know, yeah, like you know, that is their notable play, and it's a bit weird when all of a sudden it seems like it's more internal fighting and struggling than like that's kind of where it starts, and we saw it on the sidelines, and then we see things happen in the game, and they go on a long run of losing. And I think that all lends itself to each other. So yes, Sirianni's on the hot seat. Yes, I think if they go on a long losing streak, I can 100% see Bill Belichick getting thrown back into that fire too, because you're gonna want a veteran coach at that point to take over in the middle of the season. So I'm going there. Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm thinking he's on the ultimate hot seat. He's probably gone, and he probably shouldn't still be the coach right now at this point in time if he's having this much problem with the players on his roster. Because I mean, if you're the coach, the fuck you gonna lose all your players for all of a sudden,
Bro? That's more so of a GM thing. And they have a great GM in Howie. Howie will always figure that out.
you're right. But you had an epic collapse last year, and now you're coming in with expectations.
My indictment on Sirianni is kind of what Mike was saying about, you know, like hey, like maybe there is something maybe to do like the whole like Big Dom thing, because every year after year it's your staff that leaves. It's your staff. That's where I'm like, no,
but he got a head coaching job.
First time head coaching job. The question I have for the three of you is, if he does get let go for whatever the reason is, I could, even with the success that he had, even getting to the Super Bowl and all that, I could see Sirianni being one of those coaches that does not get another opportunity. That is going to be if he does get let go, he will be a coordinator for life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do, because look, you have every possible weapon on your offense, and you were winning games at a great rate, and all of a sudden,
in the chat,
and all of a sudden things just went completely sideways, and you're gonna waste AJ Brown's talent. You're gonna waste, you know, Jalen Hurts' talent. You're gonna waste Devonta Smith's talent. You're now gonna waste Saquon's talent. It's like
Kelsey.
I mean, with Steichen gone, I think Steichen and Gannon both leaving in the same year, and then having the failure this year shows that it might not just be Sirianni, that it's the staff that he had, like you said.
Yeah, but a good head coach can deal with staff leaving. That's part of being a good head coach.
That's my point.
That's so yeah, your staff's gonna get poached. I get it. Your staff always gets poached. McVay's staff gets poached all the time. He figures it out. He's a good head coach. And so that's where I think, yes, can Nick Sirianni, you know, run a team if he has every possible superstar around him and Jalen Hurts and every weapon at his disposal? Sure, of course he can win games. Can he really be a head coach when he needs to? When he has to win a game, does Nick Sirianni really give you confidence that, like, yep, he's going to come up with the plan and win this game? No. So if I'm the owner, I'm like, all right, what am I doing with this guy? I have every other talent in the world, and I'm wasting it with this coach.
I mean, and to that point, I mean, you know, we saw this repetitively with, you know, Belichick's coaching tree. We've seen this, you know, like hell, let's take a moment just for this past season and acknowledge the fact that both Detroit and Houston, for the most part, maintained the consistency of that staff, which is super important for organizations to be able to be able to maintain retention of pivotal positions that determine how you move about throughout the game. I give props to organizations like that. I'm looking at the Eagles and I'm thinking back to when they won that first Super Bowl trophy, and then I'm thinking about how long it took them to get back to the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, you're probably about to go through another low period. Yeah, that's probably maybe not this year exactly. Maybe this year, it's a fairly mediocre-ish season. I mean, you bring new Saquon, but how great is that offense going to be? They're great at all the skill positions. I question the defense. I'm questioning the offensive line now, mainly because the focal point of that offensive line is gone. I don't know. I don't know what to expect as an analyst of this Eagles team heading into next year. I have high expectations, obviously, from my own team. I feel that Dallas is going to at least maintain. The Eagles have changed so much.
The winner of this division could easily be 10-7.
Easily. The Eagles have changed so much. The Giants need to figure out a wide receiver. If the Giants nail wide receiver in the first round of the draft, I could easily see this division going from where it was Philly, Dallas to Washington, New York. I could easily see that. I could easily fucking see that happening.
Can I ask you what you're drinking tonight? Because you're on one. You're on one. If you think the Giants are going to be
drinking, smoking, huffing, whatever.
Bro, here's the thing. All that New York has to do is land some really solid, draft picks. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about diamonds in the rough in the second half of the show.
I wish it was like that.
So
bro.
I just want to. Can I say one thing?
I'm cooking for you right now. Can you just let me cook? I'm defending you, bro.
I don't agree.
They land some solid. They land some solid picks. They retool. Here's the thing: the teams that were at the bottom of the division last year made changes. Are making the Giants. You guys haven't gotten into your bag yet. I feel like you're going to get in your bag when camp rolls around, when players start getting released from other teams. I think you guys are going to get yours in the draft. We're going to be looking. I have a feeling. I'm predicting it now. We're going to look back at the Giants draft. We're going to be like,
for the last 2 years, the Eagles have been one of the best in the league, bro. I'm not ready to write them off yet.
Look, we did really well in free agency. We have a shit ton of draft picks. Dallas hasn't done shit, and Philly has lost very key pieces. And leadership in this locker room is going to, if the Eagles have a bad season, I guarantee you it's because of one, coaching. Because it's gonna be a reflection on Sirianni, obviously. Two, it is a serious indictment on the leaders in the locker room, because that means that no one was ready to take over with guys retiring on the or leaving and going to different teams on the defensive side, with fucking Jason Kelce is such a huge loss to this locker room.
Yeah, enormous.
That's why you got this guy.
I want to pose one quick question, because this is something that I always thought about, and I just want to. We don't have to get into it because it's pretty deep. But if you are an owner of a team and you're worried about sort of coaching turnover and retention on your assistant coaches, the salary cap doesn't affect your coaching staff. Just pay them more. Like, you don't want to lose your assistant coach? Okay, fine. But here's $10 million. Stay.
John,
please stay.
I agree with you, but I don't think that's the issue.
I feel like leadership.
I mean, maybe guys they want the opportunity to be a head coach. That I understand. I understand. So, but when you see a lot, like when you see a special teams coordinator bounce to be a wide receiver coach for another team, or this guy it's like there is also a lot of shuffle in the rest of the coaching staff. We talk about the head coaches, but if you look year in, year out, there's coaches that shuffle all over teams. And it's crazy. It's like, get a good staff, pay them whatever.
Well,
Keep
give
them
you
around.
I'll give you an example from years ago. The coach that I not started this argument with, but I remember telling Robbie this years later because we weren't talking when this happened. But I 100% agree with you. And actually, John, you were a part, your team, not you, but your team was a part of the Super Bowl. I thought Atlanta should have done the same exact thing to Kyle Shanahan when he went to the Niners. Yes, he messed up in the Super Bowl, but that team would have been able to hang on a little bit longer if Kyle Shanahan would have stayed as the OC of that Atlanta team.
I shout out Slowick and I shout out Johnson for staying in their respectful locations.
Yeah, great.
I really did, even though I really did want Ben Johnson to come
on
to
the Commanders.
Not even.
But if you're a good coach, you make new coaches. That's what you do. Like
I mean. But
here's the flip side of it though.
With a coordinator, as a coordinator, like it's one of those things where it's either you have it or you don't.
Well, I mean, look at like Eric Bieniemy, for example. Eric Bieniemy was in one of the best situations imaginable. The best situation imaginable. So he goes because grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. And now what is he doing? So that's the thing.
He wanted the shot.
Yeah, his problem was his professionalism. Mike, there are people that have epilepsy.
But that's the thing. He was in Kansas City in an amazing situation. That's my point. He left. Why would you leave?
Asshole.
Why would you leave?
Coaches get passed around like, oh my God.
Yes, 100%. If you look, every year is a dozen coaches that leave your building. It's crazy. And an owner 100% can stop that. 100% can stop that and say, here's just more. Why are you leaving? You want to go be the wide receiver coach for Tampa? Yeah, here's an extra $2 million. Stay. Please stay and be my, whatever, my running backs coach or whatever you are.
Now he's in Carolina as a head coach. Worked out for Canales. So just saying.
It does work, but it also doesn't.
I mean, it's probably not going to work out well.
Matt Nagy.
I mean, listen, we could go down a laundry list of failed coordinators that, we could. Yeah. You absolutely could.
Coaches being a good coach is just as hard as getting into the Super Bowl. Like I can definitely live and die with that take. We're gonna get into halftime.
Sorry. Can I make one favor and make a little tweak to the show after halftime? Because I got to leave to feed my son and put him to bed. Oh. Can we do the fantasy draft question about who the all-time one? Because I want to do that really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
On the other side of the show.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We got Plot by the homie Radio Ray. Be on the lookout for his new music video and his new album actually coming out. There may or may not be an appearance by me in that video. In the new video that'll be coming out. And then also we got the homie Shaman Noel with Shookum track going viral all over social media. If you guys know artists, tell them to send me music, tell them to send me their music videos, so on and so forth. We'll always go ahead and throw it up and stream it here. And also a word from our homies over at GLD. Rah, we'll be back.
Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you keep, so don't try to do what you shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. See, that's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you slice into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up the corruption, so stick to it. Stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even when tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the bin. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home. I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas. At night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan. I still on my mission. Hey, stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and just shit. Just stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the plan. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do and just shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change direction. This life that we live for the lesson. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone sees that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking no me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the number one mission in hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do and just shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do and just shit. Just stick to the
Hop out in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. How the hell I'm burning, don't turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop CLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, when you're not. You don't have to worry, it's my time right now, cause the boy about to blow up. They gon' pay me before I show up. Why you hating? You don't know what? Never make it what they told us. But we don't listen to haters, we just keep.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys also check out our homies over at UnderdogFantasy.com. Download the app, available on iOS and Android. Start playing our pick'ems, our rivals, jump in a couple of daily fantasy drafts. Baseball season is in full swing, so head on over there and jump into some of our baseball action. You guys know that Taco and I, we've ran up on Underdog. And we want you guys to as well. Have some fun. Remember, responsible gaming. 1-800-GAMBLER if you do have a problem. Again, 1-800-GAMBLER if you do have a problem. Underdog Fantasy, baby. Let's go. Let's get into the second half of the show. My dog wants this damn tennis ball so bad. And I'm like, no, it's mine. Like, get the fuck away from me. Really quick, Jay Batch, you're muted. We're going to go to play a game. Before we play this game, I'm going to chug the rest of this so I can pop up with a Modelo.
Ooh, a Modelo.
It's Modelo time, fool. Damn. All righty. Let's get into the fantasy question. Let's play this game. Do you want to play a game?
No Diddy.
That was a Jigsaw reference. That was a horror movie reference. You fuck.
I mean, listen.
You ruined my Saw joke, bro. Have you not seen any of the Saw movies?
Have you not heard what Diddy did?
I've heard what the
Jesus
Diddler did.
Christ.
I've heard what the Diddler did, but damn.
What about the Riddler?
Let's play a game. Here's the criteria. You are going to build a fantasy football lineup. I will give you the position limits at the end of giving you the rules. You get to pick 2 retired veterans. Any position, all right? It's any position for any of these requirements.
Yeah.
2 retired veterans, 1 currently active player. Okay, they are currently in the NFL right now. And 1 2024 NFL prospect. They cannot be from a future class. It's this class.
Got it. I already got my 4.
Build your perfect fantasy team. 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 receiver, 1 tight end. You have to nail every single position within the criteria. Mike, let's start off. Give me your 2 veterans, followed by your current and then your future rookie.
All right.
2024 rookie.
My 2 retired players are easy. I'm taking the LT and I'm taking
Such a good one. Damn it.
Fuck.
I'm taking LT and I am taking not the one that Robbie wants me to take. I mean, not the one that Robbie wants to take, so he can still have it if no one else takes it. I'm taking LT and Jerry.
Jerry Rice.
LT. Okay, LT and Jerry. So your 2 veterans are off the board. Your running back and your receiver off the board. You have to pick a tight end, and you need a 2024 prospect.
So I'm going to take my prospect first because this is the one I'm kind of mailing in, but I do not care. Give me Brock Bowers.
I knew it.
Because I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, and that is a key, and that is it, baby. Let's go.
That's a stud. That's a stud squad. That's a stud squad.
All right.
Squad.
John got his pin out. All right. So
so it's funny. I
really quick story about the pin. So John and I used to do like when we first started, like we used to like scouting profiles and shit together. I know the pen and pad very well. Go ahead.
Yeah. My yellow notebook, the famous yellow notebook with just years and years and years of stats.
This
scouting
is
shit.
2024's book. This is 2024's book.
So I'll do my current one because when I was looking this up the other day, it kind of blew my mind. My current player is Josh Allen. That's going to be my current one. Josh Allen, fun fact, has 3 of the top 10 highest scoring seasons of all time as a quarterback. So
Mahomes has 2.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, mate, to have 3 in your 5-year career. And his first 2 years were terrible. So, I think Josh Allen for me is my quarterback. That's my current player as well. My veterans. One is going to be an obvious hometown boy. I got to go with Rob Gronkowski, tight end. Insane. If you have a good time, crack a beer and watch some Rob Gronkowski highlights, it is fun. It is really fun. When he was in his prime, he was unstoppable. So that's one. Another one that I'm going to throw a shout out to. This is for Mike. This is for all my older fantasy football players. Running back, Priest Holmes. Running back, Priest Holmes was absolutely bananas for fantasy. He was fucking bananas for like 3 years. It was insane. Priest Holmes was outrageous.
He has number 3 and the number 5 overall running back season.
All time. Priest Holmes was my favorite draft pick ever when I drafted him back in the day. He was my favorite. I loved him. So I love Priest Holmes. He will always have a soft spot in my heart. So that leaves me wide receiver, and he has to be from the 2024 class. Perfect. I have 3 generational talents to pick from. I really do. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is awesome, but something about Malik Neighbors to me feels like could be very explosive, could be very big. So I'm going to take Malik Neighbors. So give me Josh Allen, Malik Neighbors, Priest Holmes, and Rob Gronkowski.
I like it.
Okay, I like that one.
I thought about Priest, but I didn't want 2 homers. So.
No,
damn.
There was no way LT was lasting after the first go. That's why I didn't build my team first. I wanted to be handicapped heading into this exercise, and I'm completely fine with that. Taco.
All right.
No, you can't pick Eli Manning, Saquon Barkley,
Classical Barretts. And I'm gonna put Lawrence Taylor at running back. So stop me.
All right. So I am gonna start with my rookie, my prospect, and I'm gonna take the wide receiver because just like John said, there's 3 generational ones. So I'll take Marvin Harrison Jr. Then.
What school did you go to?
What happened?
What school did you go to?
I want to say Ohio, but it doesn't matter. It's just Marvin Harrison Jr. Doesn't fucking
It's
matter.
Ohio State.
It is the Ohio State.
The Ohio State. You know what I mean? Whatever.
We're a football show. We gotta be respectful. The Ohio State. It burns saying
people could have thought you meant the Ohio Bobcats.
What?
For tight end, okay, I'm gonna go with Tony Gonzalez.
Wow, that was a good one too. He was on my short list.
My tight end is still there. This motherfucker straight out the bottle. God damn it, John.
I've been doing this all night, man.
At running
Don't
back,
judge me.
I'm gonna go to another old school legend for me. From when I started, I'm gonna go with Brian Westbrook because my other 2 guys were taken just because Westbrook was like the first hybrid back that really did it before.
Yep.
I mean, LT was fucking doing it better, but like,
you're good.
Westbrook was still
my
there.
running back is still there. Yes,
Robbie, I know Robbie's running back still there.
I think I can guess Robbie's running back.
So do I.
And then at quarterback, I guess I'd have to go with a current NFL quarterback. And if I'm going to go with a current NFL quarterback, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson because Lamar's going to
Lamar Jackson, by the way, has the number 2 highest fantasy finish of all time. So good job.
Okay. All right. This puts me in a very, very tough spot. I am in a.
I can't wait to hear your rookie.
Is your running back retired?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly who it is. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. How about this? I'm gonna write it down, and then you say it.
I'm writing it down too.
All right. I'll let you guys write it down. I'm down for this. I'm down for this exercise.
All right. I think I know who your. I think I know who your running back is. Okay. I want to hear.
All right. All 3 of you show show your predictions first. I don't know.
think
Taco.
you went Marshall.
No, you got to. Yep.
Oh wow, both you guys said Falk.
Yep.
Damn, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It is New York Jets, Curtis Martin, baby.
Ooh, he spent a small stint with the Pats. Don't forget that.
Yep. Hey,
Curtis was sweet.
Fantasy. I started thinking about running backs that weren't Priest Holmes or LT that I won championships with.
Yep, that's what I did.
Like and Curtis Martin is just the first. Like after those two are gone, Curtis Martin is the first one that sticks out in mind. I have had shares of Falk back in my heyday, but it's for me. It's really got to be Curtis Martin. What he did for the New York Jets is just insane.
I'll be real quick, and we don't have to talk about it. But I'm shocked nobody said CJ2K. I'm really shocked. I thought Chris Johnson,
and I'm shocked no one took prime Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Listen, what about Sean Alexander though? On the real,
Sean Alexander is another one. Yeah, Sean Alexander was savage.
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck. I only get one veteran left, and I'm in.
You know who you have to take. You know who you have to take.
I know
a veteran that we're leaving on the board that if you don't take, I'll be shocked again.
Right, here's the thing. I'm trying to be strategic about it, and like I'm so split for my current player. For my Josh Allen's already off the board. Pat Mahomes is already off the board. Who did Taco take for his current?
Lamar.
Lamar.
We all went current quarterbacks. That's funny.
Quarterback.
I mean, that's where the value is right now.
That's funny.
I don't think he is though. I don't think he's going current quarterback.
No, I think he should. In my opinion, he should go prospect quarterback.
I am going to go prospect. Actually, for quarterback, let me go prospect and let me risk it to get the biscuit.
I have it all written down, John.
There's only one quarterback prospect worth it, in my opinion, this year.
Yeah.
For quarterback prospect, I'm going to go a rookie. I think the most polished one out of the class. What do you have? What do you have, Mike?
I'll go first. It's a rookie written down. I wrote your team before you went. I want you to go. I'm wrong on one of them.
I am going to go. God damn it! I can't believe.
Just pick him.
I'm split between two.
No,
I am going to go. Daniels. I am going to go Jaden Daniels.
Oh, you
what? Wow. I mean, for fantasy, I get it. I get it.
Him and JJ. I was between him and JJ.
No,
honestly,
it's only because you think he's going to the Commanders. If you were a Bears fan, you'd be picking freaking Caleb. You're supposed to pick the prospect. You're not picking the team.
If you're logical, you're taking Caleb Williams. He's in the best situation.
I think that JJ.
Have you ever had Robbie be logical?
I think that JJ's landing spot makes him bet. If Minnesota moves up, I think that JJ automatically goes leaps.
Go Joe Brown.
Like Kirk.
I
went ahead and I have it.
Joe Brown.
I have a thing for LSU quarterbacks. I think.
I bet you do.
So now you got one more veteran and a current.
Yep.
Okay. And you need tight end and wide receiver.
We'll just pick the wideout. We know who it is. Just say it.
I know exactly who it is. If you don't say it, I'll be.
I got my prospect out the way. I got one veteran out the way for my current.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so split because my current splits me between my favorite tight end and my favorite wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying.
Just favorite tight end.
Pick the veteran wide receiver because we know me and John both know you have to take the retired wide receiver. It's not an option.
Randy Moss, baby.
It's not an option. I had that.
It was killing me to take him, but I couldn't take Gronk and Randy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take Gronk. I'm gonna let Randy slide. I'm shocked.
I want to take Justin Jefferson. That's what I was thinking about.
I want it. Oh, bro, please. Oh, I wish I could. If the rules of the game weren't the rules of the game,
That's why the rules are fun. That's why this is fun.
I didn't take Randy because I knew you would. So
Yeah.
that's. I mean,
if you didn't take Randy, I would have taken Jerry.
But you already know how I feel. But me and you have had this argument because you know, as an overall player, what I feel about the GOAT situation. And me and you have had this debate.
For tight end, I am going Travis Kelce.
Great. That was a good team. Pretty good team.
Like my quarterback is, but hey.
Oh my goodness.
He's like Randy Kelce.
Kelce. Yo. That's funny. So I just want to say to all the listeners where this exercise came from. So I was talking to Robbie about it the other day. So I was actually texting with some NHL scouts and an exercise. And an exercise that they do is they will do a draft. They'll get 10 guys together and they'll draft an all-time team for the NHL. And they'll go through a whole, 30 picks and they just get through and like, who's the 101? Someone might say, okay, I'll take Sidney Crosby. The 102, I'll take Wayne Gretzky. 103, I'll take Ovechkin. And you just kind of go down. I'll take Bobby Orr. I'll take Gordie Howe. And you go all the way down. And it's interesting as you get deeper into the draft, the construction of your team. You kind of talk about positional players as you get further down. So I go, it's really interesting to sort of do that. I mean, we could do a whole show on just drafting football teams. But the idea is, it makes you think. It makes you remember back to like, oh yeah, how good some of these guys were. It was like, again, Priest Holmes. Do yourself a favor, go look up some Priest Holmes highlights. It was insane. It was insane.
The original
Antonio Gates and Curtis Smart.
Antonio Gates, another one, dude. Another one.
You must not be watching the Knicks game because otherwise you would be telling us something that you should know.
Listen, man.
Guys, I love you, but I got a jet. I got my son. Gonna feed him. Everybody. Oh, and everybody who was on the show months ago when I announced it. My son's here. His name's Sean. He is born and he's doing really, really well. So, thank you guys for letting me hang out on Rumboyz After Dark. This is always my favorite. Mike, love you. Robbie, love you. Taco, you guys are the best. It's fun having friends like you guys. On a Friday night like this. So I enjoyed it.
Hit me up.
Thank you. You're always welcome back.
Peace.
The Knicks are going into overtime, and Jalen Brunson has 59 points.
I said Wimby got 40. Are they in double overtime?
I don't know. I just got an alert. Maybe then I got an alert that said going into OT, Brunson at 59.
I see it's 126, 128, 12.8. Knicks have the ball.
So I saw it before. So I had my phone down, so I probably got the alert when they were going in.
Oh, Yankees took the lead. Now that's fucking fuego.
Hang on, I gotta fucking get in the underdog.
We're facing Houston. This is a test.
Okay.
Oh, and Volpe got a run. Soto with another RBI. Bro, I want Juan Soto to be a Yankee for life. Like, my God. Soto shuffle our way into a contract, baby.
Hold the fuck up.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Juan Soto got me like fucking on 12. Like, I'm like so hyped for baseball this year. That dude is just so fucking good.
Update with 4:25 left in the first half. Creighton 27, Tennessee 26, with 1:49 in the first half. Duke 21, Houston 20.
Let's get into.
And then Brunson for 61. Holy shit.
Let's get into our next topic here. Coach Harbaugh was on record recently stating his desire to bulk up the offensive line in this year's draft, which caused many in the industry, the homie Peter Overzet did a whole cameo about it, to beg Harbaugh to draft a wide receiver, more namely Malik Neighbors. Analyzing the Chargers last year, who do you think is the best pick at 5 for this team?
Taco first.
Offensive lineman. You know why I say that?
So you can get a wideout.
Well, have you seen Harbaugh? He's been talking up how important the position is. And at the end of the day, I mean, it is probably the most important position on the offense after your quarterback. You've seen the value in it. Now, is that smoke screens? I don't know. But you had a bunch of good wideouts there, and you didn't do anything. And then when you look at what he did with Kansas City, I'm not saying he's good as Mahomes, but you got a bunch of good receivers that can kind of spread the field and hit the open man and make it happen, scout. And the only way you could do that is if you had time to throw. So, it just kind of has a feel. And personally, I think they're going to probably trade out. Like if you ask me, a team that's built to trade out, they have so many needs with everything that's going on that it makes sense for them to trade down and trade out. But if they stay there, you drafted a first round receiver last year in Quentin Johnston, and then you still have Palmer last year who made some noise. You have a couple other guys that you've developed. Wide receiver was the only other position that would make sense for them. But with the way that the coach is talking, and I heard the offensive lineman that they have at the first part of the draft is, pretty solid. I'm seeing a little correlation there and seeing that. I mean, again, when you have a quarterback like Herbert, building your offensive line doesn't hurt you at all. I'm not hyping up QJ, but I'm saying they drafted QJ. And at this point, would you want to continue to invest picks on wide receivers? Or is the offensive line something with Harbaugh's philosophy that makes sense? Or, like I said, makes sense to trade back and then get other players instead? Because for them, they need more things than just a wide receiver.
All right, so I am going to comment on something Taco brought up, and then go back and answer the actual question. One thing I think, I'm not saying you completely forgot it, Taco. That's not what I'm saying. But one thing about one of your comments that I think needs to be stated and needs to be thought about with the QJ factor is the fact that Harbaugh and the new regime did not bring QJ in. I think QJ doesn't matter for that purpose, if you get what I mean. I'm not saying he doesn't matter. I'm saying because I've heard people other than you say that too. Oh, they drafted QJ. They got to give him the benefit of the doubt, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
Cool.
is it the same GM?
No, they fired the GM. Okay. They cleaned house. They fired the GM halfway through last season.
Right.
I believe the new GM is in freaking Vegas or something. He's
Toronto, yeah.
Something he's gone. He gone. So it's Harbaugh. It's a new GM. It's a new OC. It's all that. I 100% agree with you that it should be O-line because, like you said, they have a lot more issues than wide receiver. If they stay at 5, they are drafting a wide receiver. But like you brought up, they can trade out if Minnesota or whatever, and or even if other teams, whoever it might be, if it's Denver, whatever.
Yeah.
I get Robbie's point about Denver needing to trade up. I just don't think they will.
They have assets. Yep.
There's enough talent at lineman that you can still get a lineman at that Minnesota spot or another team in that 8 to 15 range and pull that off and then get a wide receiver later in the draft because, like we've all said, Robbie, this draft class is deeper.
Yeah.
In the wide receiver spot. So the ideal thing would be to get a guy like, I can't say his name right, so I won't. The Penn State lineman or another lineman, because I think Alt will be gone if they trade out to like Minnesota spot at 11. If they were to take a lineman at 5, I would say Alt, but I don't think they're going to. So I would trade out, take a lineman at 11, unless for some weird reason a wide receiver falls that far, but I don't think he will. One of the top 3. And then take a wide receiver later in the draft with one of the extra picks they get.
I feel like I always piss off like the fantasy football bros, and like don't get me wrong, like I love you guys, but my analysis is only to make sure that you guys win your championships, and part of winning your championships is making sure that a team in the NFL world can be fantasy football friendly for you. I know John, I mentioned it, earlier. He was like, "Hey, you better be buying low on Justin Herbert while you can," type of deal. I do love the idea of the Chargers going Joe Alt, or even if Fatanu. Like I'm okay with I'm okay with everything that Harbaugh said, because everything that Harbaugh said is football 101.
Oh yeah.
But I also play fantasy football. So go get a fucking receiver.
But here's my question to you. Here's my question. Let's just say, for shits and giggles, that they draft Malik. Okay? Just for all intents and purposes, Arizona takes Marvin, they get Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trust not Jim Harbaugh, not Justin Herbert, but do you trust Greg Roman? Because Justin Herbert's average yards per game, if you take his average yards per game of all the games in the NFL that Greg Roman has been a coordinator for, his quarterbacks have only gotten to that yardage average like 13 times. Or something to around that 13 to 15 times. All I'm saying is, and this is why people are down on the Herbert thing, I don't know if I trust Roman to do to a stud wide receiver like that. That's my issue. It's not Harbaugh. I mean, yeah, Harbaugh brought Roman in, don't get me wrong. But even when Roman was with his brother, he did the same thing. And I get it's different QBs, but he did the same thing in Niners. He did the same thing when he was in Baltimore. It's just Roman's style is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm afraid of neighbors. Like, I get what you're saying. Yes. If it was a,
and that's where I think that they do bulk up the line, secure that line, hold that line. It is a deep wide receiver draft. Getting Leggett or getting
McConkey,
Conkey, or Franklin, later on, isn't the end of the fucking world.
Pearsall.
What I feel personally, I think that bolstering that offensive line, maybe grabbing Kurum later on, I think that 100% Kurum's ending up a Charger.
Yeah,
I'm living on that hill. I'm dying on the hill.
And you saw the other running back that's visiting them, right?
Who?
JK.
Rice? JK. Yeah, I posted about that.
So they could have literally two Ravens running backs that both played for him, for Roman, and then bring in a rookie to be the hammer.
I think that I'm more intrigued, especially from a dynasty standpoint, about what happens with the running back room. Just because obviously Edwards don't got a whole lot of time. I think that Quorum obviously lands there. And should JK land there, then cool, that's a solid stash. If he can come back, bounce back healthy, and perform for at least a couple of years after the injury, I think Quorum definitely gets used, especially if he gets drafted. I think that he lands there no matter what. Not too sure about what shakes out with Dobbins. They can get it. They can get a receiver later. I like their receiver options more so for redraft purposes. Well, actually, I mean, if you're buying in on QJ or Palmer, even for dynasty, you can buy late. At least you know that one of them is going to be the one or two until the rookie incumbent can completely just take the fuck over. It's interesting. I'm buying into it. Bulk up the offensive line. Make things a little bit bigger, badder, and better there. We got one more topic, and I want to know. Give me your biggest NFL draft diamond in the rough.
Oh shit. Okay.
Who is going to be this year's Puka? The guy that you're like, you know what? No one's really looking at this player, but I'm over here looking at this player. I think this is an interesting conversation because one, how deep the wide receiver class is, but then also we have not so deep of a running back class. So it could be very interesting. There could also be a quarterback that, because of injury that happens to this current starter, could maybe step up. There's some quarterbacks that had really good pro days, Joe Milton. So I want to know you guys' thoughts around diamonds in the rough in this year's draft. Who's someone that you're like, you know, this guy's going to be someone?
Let me go first.
What's up?
I'm liking Michael Pennox Jr. right now. Yeah. I know you're laughing at me, but I mean, did he run like a 4.4 in
Penix?
Yeah.
Say his name right.
Okay, I'm not. I am not a good college guy, so this is my first time saying his name. Pennox, whatever his name's supposed to be. Pennox, Mike. Penix. Michael Penix.
Replace the S with your anatomy with an X.
He's going to be like the 5th quarterback off the board. This is not like
I don't know. Joe Milton had a really good showing.
He could be the 7th quarterback off the board. You know, like you said, there's still Bo Nix there that you know has enough experience.
Bo Nix dropped for me. Bo Nix severely dropped for me.
Yeah, Bo Nix.
But a team could take him over Pennox. But I mean, to me, especially when we're talking from a fantasy perspective, I think he's very interesting. Like, it's like in a dream scenario for the Giants. Like, I would love to take a wide receiver in the 1st round, and in the 2nd round, come get a guy like that, and just be like, all right, you know, Daniel Jones be damned. Like, we'll see what happens. We'll let Drew Lock play the first 6 weeks, and then after that, we'll give it to the rookie. And then if we're in the top of the draft class next year, you know, we'll at least see what these guys have. And if we want to take another quarterback, we will. If not, you know, we kind of have something to roll with. But, you know, the defense is going to be good. You know, hopefully with that 1st round pick, we can get a wide receiver to build on that. Offensive line hopefully should be good. So my dream is him in the 2nd round to go with the wide receiver in the 1st round. But again, it feels like we're going to be JJ McCarthy's landing spot. That's what it feels like.
Okay. Mike, you're diamond in the rough.
Okay, so you know that Taco knows I don't mean this in any offense to Taco because he knows I don't. But we both know Taco's knowledge of the rookies compared to me and you. How low, because of that, how low do you want me to go? Because I can go.
Ooh, Diddy.
No Diddy. I can go.
I love this one.
But see, to me, that's where I'm going with. To me, Braylon Allen is not a
because he's not getting the Jonathan Brooks. He's not getting the Jonathan Brooks hype. I feel.
I've been in 4 mocks. I've been in 4 mocks today, and he was the first running back taken off the board in 3 of them.
Really? Okay. I like that. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, and 2 of them were from Gator. Like, he's being people are drafting Braylon as the 1, as the 2, as the 3, and I've seen him all the way down to 5. But like, he still has that name value from being so young because he's only freaking 19 years old. I don't get it, but whatever. So my question is, how low do you want me to go, Robbie?
Pause.
Can you go down low?
I mean, whatever you feel that you have.
Make it fantasy relevant, though.
Go for it.
Oh, I am.
All right.
Taco, shut up.
I mean, no, I actually learning these things. I actually do shut up and listen.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. So this guy is wide receiver 23 in Sleeper's current on their draft board if you're in Sleeper rookie drafts at wide receiver. I did butcher. Me and Robbie have talked about this guy. I don't remember if you were here, Taco, but I did kind of butcher part of his scenario. But the more I looked at him, he's rising up on my board. Give me Malik Washington out of Virginia.
Oh, you took mine.
Oh.
Sorry, Robbie. I could have done another one.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're
Because
good. You're good.
the other one of the ones I love, I thought you were going to do. So I didn't want to do it. Another wideout that I know you love.
So for me, I am going receiver. I'm not gonna after you put in perspective about Braylon Allen, I'm not gonna go there. I am gonna go wide receiver, and for me, it is very, very, very much Javon Baker.
I thought you were going a different direction.
No, I mean, it was.
I know you like Baker.
Yeah, I was either discussing Washington or Baker. With Baker, I love the way that at the top of the route, the way that he finishes. I mean, this is a yak. This is a yak guy.
Yakety yak.
Yakety yak, yakety yak, and we love yak, especially in fantasy football. I want his release to be a little bit cleaner.
I could see that,
but I don't necessarily have a problem with it because I used to have a problem with Devontae Adams' release, and Devontae Adams is one of the best to do it at the position.
This day.
So, and he has elite speed as the route develops. So that's another thing. I think that he can be useful in deep ball scenarios. I think that he can be useful. This man has lost it today. But I think that he could be useful in deep ball scenarios. I think that he can be useful in catch and go jab step scenarios to then be able to create his own space. This is a kid that I feel like can create his own space, and create his own separation. More importantly, I'm super impressed. I'm high on Baker. I wouldn't be shocked if Baker, when it's all said and done, maybe is one of the better guys out of this class.
Since we have a little bit of time, and since Taco has said he's trying to learn about the prospects, can we talk about a medium wide receiver? And I know me and you both like him, but I need to hear more of your take about the guy because we've kind of discussed him in the past. What is it about Xavier Legette that you absolutely adore?
I think for me, it's more so size, honestly.
Because I like him, but
I like what it presents for me, what it presents in potential red zone scenarios where I can use this guy in jump ball. I feel like he runs a little bit better. I know there's a lot of DK Metcalf comparisons, and I think that's the closest thing that we can compare him to because of his size.
I heard DK and I hear Debo, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't see the Debo at all. I see DK except with a more versatile route tree than what DK had coming out. Legette's going to be great. Legette's going to be a target. Legette is a must buy, I feel, with or without landing spot because of what his size allows him, what his size and his skill set allows him to do at the position.
Yep.
I don't really have too many knocks on Legette, to be
neither
honest.
do I, and that's why I asked, because I keep hearing people say they're not as high on him, but I can't keep like I've been getting him at 210 and 211 in mocks, and I'm taking him all day long there in super.
I think that it's what's happening with that is we're seeing the echo chamber of those that may have been burnt by a DK in the past. But I mean, hell, when DK was coming out, we were like, oh, well, this could be, this could be Calvin Johnson, this could be Megatron. We were like, hey, this could be like Julio. When we talk about receivers of that size and that stature, there's pros and cons to being that big. Legette luckily moves the way that we admire a Tyson Fury in the ring. I think that you're getting that. You're getting a guy who is big but can move. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that.
Gotcha.
His size works to his advantage. Other than that, we're all set. We're good to go. This has been Rumboyz After Dark. Make sure that you guys make sure you guys jump in the Discord. Like I'm about to be doing a whole lot more through the Discord. Especially obviously over on Underdog Discord because that's where I'm fucking hired. He's like, obviously. So yeah, be on the lookout for you know, a lot of different things happening during this off season, whether it's player breakdowns, whether it's play-by-plays that we're going to start getting involved in, so on and so forth. That's really going to be the place that you want to be. I'll start getting that out to everybody, start getting everyone kind of like integrated over there slowly. Just because it's a madhouse over there. 47,500 people that I have to kind of fucking manage. So yeah, Mike saw it and was like, whoa.
I was like, what do you want me to get involved with?
It's overwhelming. Yeah, it's super overwhelming. I'll be actually in the Underdog Discord for the remainder of the night, so you guys can jump over there, talk about, you know, everything. I'm right now. I'm in the NBA chat, so I'll be over there talking some shit. So make sure you guys jump in over there. Check out GLD. I'm Rumboyz Robbie. That's TDS Taco. That's Drop the Mic FF, the greatest in the fucking game. Make sure you guys check out all of his graphics. And yeah, yo, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. We love y'all. Peace.
Dilly dilly, y'all.